Yo, what is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the brand new news that just dropped about the Pyramid of Power that is coming on Tuesday in my team and is going to be rewarding us with a pink diamond Demar Derozan. This was a mistake by 2K this morning. The My NBA app, they sent out a notification. As y'all can see, this is the screenshot of that notification right now. Shout out to my boy Moseballin for posting this. I know a couple other people have seen this and posted about it on Twitter as well, but I just wanted to pull up this post to show y'all that it is real. The blog, as most says in this comment, says that Pyramid of Power is coming out Tuesday, which is correct. And that does mean that we will be getting a pink diamond Demar Derozan among other cards on Tuesday. As y'all can see right here, tomorrow on Monday, Inferno player cards will be coming to the player market. So by the way, if y'all want to buy any of those cards, Steph, AK, T-Mac, any of the diamonds, whatever, they will now be buyable tomorrow in the player market. So if you're looking for any of those guys, haven't grinded those agendas, there you go. On Tuesday, construct a new Pyramid of Power and NBA Rivals Week begins. What is NBA Rivals Week? Well, that's something that has to do with the real life NBA. I'm sure we'll see something along the lines of maybe primetime cards this week potentially that will be coming out and potentially getting evos based on their team's performance. I don't know. I could see that. We'll see what that is later. I'm sure we'll find out what 2K's content for Rivals Week is going to be, and I'm honestly sure it probably won't be that great. I mean, it might be good. The in-season tournament content was great. I don't expect it to be as good as that. But the Pyramid of Power, Pink Diamond Demar Derozan, that's intriguing to me. If y'all do remember, the Pyramid of Power earlier this year, I'm just going to talk about what the Pyramid of Power is for those of y'all who may not be aware, was this Season 1 grindable set of challenges. Not grindable exact. Well, yes, grindable. But it required you to buy these 5 Sapphire players. Once you bought the 5 Sapphire players, who cost about 100 KMT between all 5 of them, there were agendas you would complete with each Sapphire, which would give you the rubies. And then you completed each of the ruby agendas, and you got the 2 amethysts. And then you completed the amethyst agendas, and you got Diamond D-Wade. So basically, you bought the lowest level cards. It all cost about 100 KMT. You grind all the agendas, all the challenges, sell those Sapphire cards back if you want as well, which you could do, and then it wind up costing you around 50,000 MT once you complete the grind. So it's about 50,000 MT, and you got free, or I guess not free, but for 50K, you got those rubies, the amethysts, and the diamonds to keep in your collection if you sold the cards back. And yeah, so that is basically, I'm sure, what the Demar Derozan grind will look like as well. I'm sure it will be very, very similar. And he will be a pink diamond. There will be a couple of diamonds. There will be a few amethysts. And then I would expect the lowest tier cards to likely be rubies this time that you'll have to buy. I'm hoping they're only 10 KMT and it only costs 50K or so to complete this, even before selling the players back. We'll see. It will cost a little bit of MT, but not a gigantic amount. It will be an amount that basically anybody should be able to complete and get. And this will be a grind that will be very, very attainable for pretty much the whole community, which is great. The thing is, Demar Derozan himself might not be that good of a card, simply because he will be able to play shooting guard. He's 6'6", 6'9" wingspan. He'll have really good stats. I mean, he'll be 90-something speed. His three-point shooting will be way better than it is right now. He'll be an elite slasher. I mean, he already is. He'll be an incredible slasher with amazing slashing badges, and I'm sure he'll be much better defensively and more complete as a playmaker than this amethyst that came out at the beginning of October was. Obviously, he's going to be way better than that. The problem with this card is, besides the MJ dribble style, the rest of his sigs are not that great. I don't love his size up. I don't remember loving the LeBron escape that much either, although that LeBron escape is usable-ish, I guess. Pro 3 leaner is nah, and it's not great. And then his release is pretty mid as well, to be completely honest. So I am a little worried that Demar Derozan himself may not be that incredible, but I expect he'll be a good free card. Will he be like a top 5 shooting guard in the game? Realistically, the answer to that is maybe. We'll see. It'll be interesting to see how he compares to guys like Artest and Kawhi and some of the guys that are toward the back half of the top 10, and then obviously some of the newer cards like Jaylen Brown and Michael Jordan as well, who may not have the best releases but are incredible all-around stat and badge-wise. I would think he'll be closer to that. His release won't be amazing, but he'll have amazing stats and badges and will look really, really good on paper and he'll be borderline top 5 at shooting guard, I think, but I don't think he'll be incredible, is my main takeaway about Demar Derozan as a player. With that being said, the whole event is cool. I love this type of stuff. This type of content brings people into the game, gives them things to do. I love this type of content in my team, and I'm interested to see who the diamond players wind up being, who the amethyst players wind up being, whether or not it winds up costing a good chunk of MT. Like, it's going to be interesting to see how much those players wind up costing as well. I do think that Demar as the reward is a little disappointing, just a little bit. He'll be good, but I don't think he'll be incredible. Like this person says, if he can play shooting guard, he'll be better than T-Mac. Well, that's probably not true, because T-Mac is really good and Demar's animations aren't that insane. But I do think he'll be good, and it's going to be interesting to see. Definitely something to keep an eye out for over the next day or so, is to see what Derozan, or what else is coming in this promo outside of Derozan, if there are any other players that are really worth it. But I'm sure this is something that I will be completing, and I expect that the majority of the community will be completing as well, because I mean, why not? Free pink diamond DeMar DeRozan, it probably will not be a very long grind. I mean, I think the D-Wade grind took about 2 hours. So I don't expect this to be very time-consuming or challenging, and I do expect it will be pretty simple, pretty rewarding, and good, solid, free content. DeMar DeRozan just is not a name that jumps off the page at me as exciting this year. In the past, DeMar DeRozan was a very exciting name, but that's because his animations were basically T-Mac. Like, he had the Tracy McGrady animations. This year, he has his own release, which is not as good as T-Mac's base, and that, I think, will hold him back a little bit, is the main complaint that I have, as I've said. But that's going to do it for this video. I don't think I need to talk about much more. Just wanted to let y'all know about the Pyramid of Power that is coming tomorrow, or not tomorrow, on Tuesday, and to be on the lookout for that, as well as see, I mean, who's excited for DeMar? I'm kind of excited, but not super excited. He's not a name that, for me, gets me insanely intrigued this year. But I mean, for some people, I'm sure that's a really cool grind, and it is always great to have grindable content. And the fact that we're getting weekly grindable content in the form of a weekly mode reward player who's a pink diamond this season, this Pyramid of Power already, and hopefully some other content throughout the season will continue to give us good stuff to grind for, because that is one of the most important things for consistent, sustained success in this My Team mode. Is, I mean, there has to be consistent content to grind, and right now, at least we have that. There was consistent content being released each week for different parts of the player base, between the Gauntlet that's already been released this series and now Pyramid of Power coming, and then obviously the changes to the way that mode rewards work. Also, the game is the most rewarding it's ever been to grind in terms of making MT in general. So 2K's doing a good job in a lot of areas. Hopefully that will continue, and hopefully maybe we see some gameplay changes toward the end of this season that will make the rest of the year a little more fun to play as well. With that being said, that is going to do it for today's video, so I hope y'all did enjoy. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.